Hey Oz,
Hey, Curtis.
what movie we watching this week?
Oh, I'm going to save you some time. And instead of watching Akira,
Okay.
Malignant, and Turner and Hooch, we're going to watch Batman Beyond Return of the Joker.
Turner and Hooch.
Well, yeah, he brought the
He
dog.
did, he did. Yeah, he brought the dog. What was the dog's name? Oh God.
Um, it,
Oh, I'm blanking.
yeah,
Ace. It was Ace.
yeah,
Ace.
Ace.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Wikipedia, source of all
Yeah,
knowledge everywhere.
Ace. So, but yeah, we've got really, I was torn for a third one. The malignant thing was like, oh, it's easy. You
Hmm.
got two personalities trapped in one body that don't know the other one's there. But it was Akira actually showed up as my third,
Okay.
although I moved it to the front because I've seen the movie once, but I do remember a giant sky beam tearing through the
Yep.
city, and I was like, oh yeah, yeah, Akira, and it's of course
Hmm.
animated, but
A second straight week of giant sky beam.
yes, yes, it is for sure. Probably the same source.
Yes. Yeah. It's the exact same. They both came from Minas Morgul
Yeah,
in Mordor.
cyberpunk meet us
Yeah.
mortal. Oh man, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks, that podcast that brings you a movie each week that satisfies a theme that we make up just to fit the movies in.
Yep.
I'm one of your hosts, Oz,
I'm the other host, Curtis.
and we are here today to wrap up the month of August. Wrapping up a theme, we'll drop a new one on you at the end of the
Uh
show.
huh.
And we are we're after last week's 7-course meal of a film. Um,
4.5 hour extended edition of Lord of the Rings: Return of the
we're
King.
just we're celebrating with like a small dish of sorbet or a handful of chocolate covered peanuts or
I
something
lost
like.
13 pounds in water weight last week.
Yeah. And you didn't have time to gain it back this
No,
week.
no, same
So
shirt and everything. Just haven't changed.
yeah, this movie clocks in. I know I watched the uncut version, which clocked in at a whopping 76 minutes.
Mm. I
Uh,
watched the version that you provided, so
Half of that running time was extremely boring opening credit scene.
there was a lot of like credits and like punch, punch, punch in this movie.
Yes, yes, yeah, a lot.
Hmm.
And so, yeah, we're here, Batman Beyond, Return of the Joker, not Batman Begins, the movie
Nope.
that I almost say every single time. Um, but yeah, we're here. It's been a while since we've done an animated
It
film, I
has,
think.
yeah,
Um, it's a nice change of
yeah.
pace. It's a nice change of pace. Of course, we'll get to the rating later on, but like we kind of alluded to, outside of recording last week, like there was room for improvement.
Hmm.
I think the movie suffered from what it wanted to be.
Yeah,
Did it want like you being a motion picture? You had the opportunity to escape the TV censors, but you also were pitching at that TV audience.
yeah.
So did we want? We could have gone whole ham, but we didn't. And I get to that a little bit later.
Hmm.
But first, we do want to give a shout out to Patreon subscribers Don S, Aaron A, and Mandy
Thank
K.
you.
Thank you for your patronage. All right, so the voice cast of this movie is nearly as long as the cast I
Yes.
said last week.
Almost as long as Return of the King. Although,
Yeah.
as we talked pre-show, most of these characters really don't matter. But they
No,
cast
no, they
some
don't.
bizarrely like C-list names in
Yeah,
some
well, in
incredibly
that
minor
time of like
roles.
like 2000, like
Yeah,
these weren't C list at the time. Well, I mean, maybe Melissa Joan Hart, but
yeah. Henry Rollins.
yeah,
But yeah, we'll run down the cast here. We'll start with the main characters, and there's really only a couple of main characters here. We have Terry McGinnis, aka Batman Beyond. Um,
it's the Batman that's just outside of your line of sight.
yeah, he's just over the horizon.
Yeah,
He's over yonder.
he's over there.
He's
Trust me,
over yonder. He's over at the
he's
neighbor's
fighting
place.
crime over there.
Played by Will Friedle. He's the new Batman, the protege of the aging Bruce Wayne, slash, as I call him in my notes, old Batman, played by the one and only Kevin Conroy, and
my favorite.
and a lot of fanboys, yes, their favorite Batman, who actually was the live action in one of those like Green Arrowverse shows that I never even tried to keep up with.
Right.
It was probably the Flash, some Crisis on Infinite Earths storyline.
Fair enough.
Then the other character of consequence we have is the Joker, as well as Jordan Price, Mark Hamill himself.
Yeah.
Famed voice actor who also has done a couple other notable things. Mark Hamill.
Lucas Skywalker, for one.
Yep. He was in The Guyver, not MacGyver.
Right.
The Guyver.
That's right. I forgot that.
MacGyver's cousin, The Guyver.
I do enjoy watching some random movie, and it doesn't happen very often. And then just Mark Hamill shows up. Yeah. it's just something like when he was in What We Do in the Shadows, the TV show, and you're like, oh my God, there's Mark Hamill. That's Luke Skywalker as a vampire.
I appreciate Mark Hamill. He's very self-aware.
Yes,
and he sort of gets the bit, when he does the.
I think he recognizes that I'm kind of like king of the nerds.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just crown myself.
Yeah,
and
just lean into it.
He does. He really enjoyed it, and good for him.
We then have lots and lots of supporting roles. Really, again, no major consequence, but a lot of famous-ish actors.
Yeah, names that you may recognize.
We have old Tim Drake, played by Dean Stockwell, of all people.
Right.
We have the Tim Drake, old Tim Drake, who you expect to see like in the same aisle looking at yard rakes at the Ace.
Exactly. Yeah, if not working part-time.
Yeah, he's the guy. He's working the keys when you need a copy of a key made. You go see Tim Drake at the local Ace Hardware.
Just go to see Tim Drake.
Yeah. He'll make you an extra key for your back door.
May not even charge you.
No, he's a good guy. That old Tim Drake. He'll look good in a red vest.
He would.
We have old Barbara Gordon, played by Angie Harmon.
Yeah. Who has when you see Angie Harmon doing the voice of old Barbara Gordon, when she's not old Angie Harmon, you're like, oh, Angie Harmon, you have like a perfect old lady, older lady voice.
Yeah.
But you don't look like an older lady. So
we have their young counterparts. We have young Robin, played by Matthew Valencia, and young Batgirl, played by a voice actor extraordinaire, Tara Strong, who's one of those 20 people who has 50% of all the voice roles in Hollywood.
Yeah. And she's got half of them, and the guy from Reno.
Yeah, the guy from Reno has the other half. Carlos from Reno. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we have Terry's mom, Mary McGinnis, who I don't even remember seeing her in the movie. I honestly have no recollection of that character, voiced by Terry Garr.
Exactly.
Because why not? Why not?
We cut her. Yeah. We cut her part, but she was here. We had a roll.
You beat me to it. You something. It explains the roll in the hay scene.
That's true. That's why they cut it. It didn't quite fit the vibe. It was fun to film.
Batman Beyond's booster rockets would keep igniting the hay.
She wasn't even on set. They just used the audio from Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Would you like to go for a roll and say, hey, young Batman?
Batman.
Terry McGinnis.
Batman Beyond.
The Joker. We have young Harley Quinn, played by Arlene Sorkin. And then we have a bunch of other characters, many of whom you don't even hear their names in the movie, but they're voiced by C-level people, which is just hysterical. And most of these are in the Joker's gang in the future.
Yeah, ends with a D.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have the Dee-Dees, which is kind of like the Future's take on Harley Quinn. It's basically twins.
Yes.
Who are 2/3 Harley Quinn, 1/3 Betty Boop.
Right.
Voiced by Melissa Joan Hart, Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Right. Well, I remember her more as Clarissa Explains It All.
Okay. To each their own, I guess.
I had Nick, so.
We have Bonk. Bonk, played by Henry Rollins. Yes, folks, that Henry Rollins. We have Ghoul, played by Smallville's Michael Rosenbaum.
A pre-Smallville's
Yes.
Michael Rosenbaum.
We have Woof, the half wolf, half person, voiced by the guy who has the other voices in Hollywood, Frank Welker.
Exactly. Yeah, Wolf, he's his own best friend. Barf was taken.
That's gonna leave a mark.
He also did the voice of Ace the Bat Dog.
Did he? Oh,
Yeah, I see that on here.
That doesn't
Frank
surprise
Welker
me.
did the voice of Ace. Like,
Of course he did.
So he played a character named Wolf, and then
And then made woof sounds.
we made Wolf sounds for another. Cashing that check, Frank.
They only had him in studio, the recording studio, for a couple hours, so they had to give him a name he'd remember.
Right.
We have Don Harvey playing Chucko, another member of the Joker's gang. And then we have Terry McGinnis' girlfriend, Dana, and then girlfriend's friend, Chelsea. Dana voiced by Lauren Tom, who also does most of the other voices at Hollywood. I think she's Min from King of the Hill. And she's also Amy from Futurama. And this character sounds
probably
just like
a Powderpuff Girl as well.
Yes. And then the girlfriend's friend, Chelsea, is played by She's All That herself, Rachel Lee Cook.
She had like maybe a line or two.
Like she was like outside the nightclub and like,
right.
Okay, let's get hot young actress Rachel Lee Cook to be
let's ride her high
friend. Because this movie,
she's hot right now.
Because the audience this movie was really tapping into was she the film going She's All That audience.
Right. Well, they were going to get Freddie Prinze Jr. to play Batman Beyond, but he wasn't available. But I feel like when we're talking about Rachel Lee Cook being cast, it's like Mugatu in Zoolander. It's like that Hansel's so hot right now.
That Hansel's so hot.
Rachel Lee Cook's so hot right now. We've cast everyone, sir. She can do Chelsea's voice.
Oh, all right. Well, those are the characters. Again, there's a lot there. Most of them don't matter. I just wanted to go through most of them because most of them are people that
they deserve to have their voice.
Yeah,
they deserve. Plus, it gives me plenty of more hashtags on Instagram posts so that RLC can reply back with like, "Oh my gosh, someone finally recognized my role in Batman Beyond."
We'll hear back from Lauren Tom.
Exactly. All right. Well, I got the plot this week.
Let's
wrapping up this 5-week month.
Yeah, 76 minutes. This one was a quick runtime.
Yeah, I was not a viewer of the Batman Beyond television show.
I think I watched a couple episodes, but this is what I remember the most of this era.
Right. So really, it was kind of a crash course for me. Movie kicks off with. You can tell we're kind of in the future, but let's be honest, like Gotham in the cartoons always kind of look the same.
Yeah.
But we've got the Joker's gang, consisting of, like you said, we got Bonk, Wolf, Ghoul, Chucko, and the Dee twins. And they are infiltrating someplace trying to steal something.
Future lab with future tech, which is really present tech, but it's still future tech.
Right. They're stealing futuristic technology in a futuristic setting.
I'm pretty sure I heard Wolf say, "Is this the future tech that we need?"
Is this the future tech we need?
And Bonk's like, "No, this is the present day tech."
Right. That's the current electronic equipment. We need the future stuff. So it's like Dippin' Dots. Really.
Yeah, the ice cream of the future that's been around for 35 years.
It's been around forever.
Yeah, it's been around forever. But it's of the future.
Right. And so the Joker's gang is they're picked off by Batman Beyond.
Is the Joker's gang? Does it have a Z at the end of it?
It does. It's not Joker.
I'm so glad it does. It's like Limp Bizkit.
Yeah, it's the future.
Yeah, it's the future where there's lots of whatever you could fit an X, a Y, or a Z into the word.
Nobody uses S's in the future.
No, the Jokers.
Right. It's like that. Was it a Cronenberg movie, Existence?
Yeah.
It has like 7 Z's in the title. It's like a bottle of NyQuil.
I call that one a snooze fest with all those Z's. Hey.
So Batman, I'm going to call him Batman Beyond just to not get him
Yes.
confused. So Will Friedle shows up and
Terry Garr's son shows
right,
up.
right. So Batman Beyond shows up and intercepts the Joker's gang, and as they're trying to steal this high tech equipment, he doesn't let them do it. They report back to their leader, um, who coincidentally the home base, the headquarters for the Joker's gang is like an abandoned candy factory that has giant clown heads all over the place. Just in case you weren't sure where the Joker's headquarters
Those
was.
were load-bearing candy heads, Oz. There's
That's true.
structural integrity to that building.
Right. And they were made of
Yeah.
Pez. And so we get back, and lo and behold, the Joker is their leader.
No way, Oz. This is the future. That
I
can't be
know,
a thing.
especially because the Joker is dead. He was killed years ago in the past. This is the
Not the
future.
future. He was
Right.
killed in the future's past.
And so we have a whole crew that basically is just like the Jokers. Let's not kid ourselves. The Jokers are just knockoffs of Batman villains. Like Ghoul is your Scarecrow. Like you mentioned, Dee Dee is your Harley Quinn. Wolf is your Man Bat, maybe.
Sure.
Like
Part man, part ferocious animal.
right, right. So they're just whatever. But the Joker's not happy. And Bonk kind of stands up. Everybody's afraid of him, but Bonk, Henry Rollins, who surprisingly isn't afraid of anything.
That's Henry Rollins.
Right. He actually went off script to tell Mark Hamill.
A lot of improv in this movie.
Yeah, and they just like, we got the footage. Let's just animate around. So Joker's not happy with Bonk. Bonk's getting a little defiant, and Joker does the old, I'm going to shoot you with a fake bang flag gun thing, and then of course it's loaded with a real bullet, and he kills Bonk, and that gets whips everybody into shape. So we know Joker is back. We know it. Batman and Batman Beyond don't know it. Bruce is still kind of running the show.
Yeah. He's the man in the chair.
Yeah, he's like the Commandant Lassard of the Batman universe now.
He's Ned from Spider-Man Homecoming.
He's basically turned himself into Alfred.
Yeah,
he hangs back. He mans the computers.
He's got a feather duster.
Dishes out advice. Yeah. But he also wiggles his way back into running Wayne Enterprises. And against the wishes of some other guy that wanted to be the head of Wayne Enterprises. Like, it doesn't really matter who that is.
Against red herring Jordan Price.
Yeah, Jordan Price, there it was.
Also voiced by Mark Hamill to try to trick the audience.
Yeah, which it didn't trick me because I didn't realize till I read in the credits that Mark Hamill did the voice of Jordan Price. Had he referenced like Toshi Station and Power Converters, I would have been like, "That's Mark.
That's the guy. That's Mark Hamill."
Yeah, I've seen him in things. Yeah, we're referencing a very obscure movie called A New Hope.
Start Wars. I think it's Start Wars.
Stars Wars.
Starsguard.
Yeah,
Stellan Skarsgård.
That's the name of the movie. George Lucas presents
Stellan Skarsgård. Chapter 5.
A New Hope. So yeah, Bruce wants to run Wayne Enterprises again because I guess crime is down and he's bored. Joker reveals himself to Bruce at his press conference because if you're going to take over the head of a company, you need to make sure everybody knows you're taking over the head of a company. So you have a press conference. And so Bruce is thrown for a whirl because he knows the Joker is dead. And he just insists to Batman Beyond that it's not him. It can't be him.
I guess they storyboarded a scene in which Bruce is so dismayed about the Joker. Spoiler alert for a couple minutes in here.
Right.
That he goes to the site where Joker died and like exhumes his body.
Really?
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool to see. I wonder if he would have done it himself or if he would have had Batman Beyond do it.
Hey Terry, I got a job for you, kid.
Right.
Here's a shovel.
Terry is still very much a kid.
Yeah.
Like, despite being like the only crime fighter in Gotham, he's still young enough that like he'll do the Batman thing like all night and then still go to the clubs.
Mm-hmm. He goes to the future clubs, by the way. Those are definitely
Right.
future clubs he goes to.
Yeah. Oh man, what was it? Tech Noir is where he goes
Yeah.
from Terminator. And so yeah, Bruce is kind of distraught because it's like that. He does a voice match, and because he's got all the technology he needs, he doesn't need to rob places for their high tech electronic equipment. He has it all. And so Terry Batman Beyond gets attacked. He eventually has had enough. So he goes to Bruce and Barbara and he's like, hey, what's going on? I thought you said the Joker was dead. He's back. And of course, they're just tight lipped. We're not going to tell him because why would we want to share facts?
Yeah.
Well, we do find out they don't tell him because basically they're both just kind of ashamed of how that evening played out. So basically Bruce is like, hey, hang it up, Terry.
Yeah.
Like, things have gotten real, as opposed to all the time, like all the petty crimes that he sent him out to do.
Yeah.
Like, go fight these petty crimes where you're still putting your life in extreme danger. But it's like, now that the Joker's back, it really shows like, and you could argue you're a much bigger Batman mythos fan than I am. I'm aware, but I haven't read. But it's like, I get the vibe that, especially here, like Bruce is afraid of the Joker.
Oh, he's definitely afraid. He tries to like bully Terry into quitting.
Yeah.
Because because he knows, as we'll get to in a moment here, he knows what happens to Tim.
Yeah.
And he
yeah.
can't hold that on his conscience. I took that a quote. Again, you could also get into the whole like Bruce and like taking in these young wards and
Right.
But yeah,
Like
Bruce calls
like Burt Ward.
Yeah, like takes in Burt Ward exactly.
Literally took in
a young ward. Bruce calls Terry a stupid kid. None of you ever knew what you wanted.
I don't think Bruce knows what he wants either.
Nope, he just wants to kind of use people.
Yeah. So yeah, he, instead of just being honest with Terry, he does, like you said, he just kind of just tries to bully him like John Lithgow did to Harry at the end of Harry Henderson.
That's the exact movie I was thinking of. That was the one missing from your movie marriage, was Harry and the Hendersons.
It could have been there.
You get out of here! Boom!
Right.
Punches Bigfoot in the face. Poor Harry. So sad.
Yeah, it is. He is. So Bruce is trying to get Terry, just orders him to give the bat suit back. Really, he's doing it to protect him.
Yeah.
But he can't tell him that for some reason. Who knows? Because Bruce he's still like investigating, and he wants to confront the Joker on his own, because he's like, we've got some unfinished business. So Terry goes out dancing because that's what Terry does. The Jokers show up at the club, full costume. There's no denying that they're still the Joker.
No, they're clearly the Jokers.
Right. And they almost kill his girlfriend. And the Joker ends up poisoning Bruce and the dog, Ace.
Yeah, they got into the Batcave. He knew exactly where Bruce was. Knew that Bruce is Batman.
On top of it, calls him Bruce. Like, calls Batman. He's telling him, I've known all along. Like really, like, Joker's got the upper hand here. Not only is he throwing Batman for a loop, but then he's revealing all these facts. Like, I know all about you. I know where I know your name. I know where your hideout is. Like,
I know you got a C in sociology during your sophomore year at community college.
I know you lied about kissing Susie Collins. You didn't really do that, Bruce.
That wasn't you. There is no Susie Collins.
That one time you hid your peas under your mashed potatoes to trick your mom. I knew about that.
I knew about that. I knew what 7-year-old Bruce did.
I know what you did. So, and so, he knows that Bruce was Batman, and he knows that Terry is Batman Beyond. I don't know why I keep saying that, but it's just
It's funny. He's Batman Beyond. He's not Batman.
No, he's Batman
He's
Beyond.
Batman Beyond.
Because it's the future.
It's future. He's beyond.
It's future Batman.
Beyond Batman.
We can't even fathom
No.
because it's too far.
It's too into the future.
Yeah, the closest we could get is a Conan Andy in the year 2000. That's the closest. But even then,
it's future Gotham.
So magically, thankfully, Terry shows up just in time to save Bruce with the antidote that Bruce made of a poison he didn't know what he was poisoned with, but he had an antidote for it. And Barbara's had enough. Like, things have gotten out of hand. Barbara finally explains.
Barbara, who's now police commissioner.
Commissioner Gordon. Jr. She provides the exposition for us in probably my favorite scene of the movie.
I have a feeling that this is everyone's favorite scene in this movie. Like, I'd seen bits and pieces of this movie before. I'd never seen it from its entirety. The only part I remember is Batman flying around with jet boots, and then this scene.
Yeah. So we go back like 40 years.
We're not in the future anymore.
No, this is the past.
Yeah.
That's why we get like the Wayne's World.
Rob Lowe was there. Kurt Fuller was there.
Right. Tia Carrere. They ordered cream of some young guy. So Barbara basically explains what happened. Like, again, they're like, the Joker's dead, and then she's like, we know that because we were there. Nightwing had left, which was Dick Grayson. He went on to do his own thing in another city. He went to Bloodhaven.
Umlaut. He went to Umlautville.
There he went. Joker and Harley basically kidnapped Tim Drake, who was Robin. And it's like a little baby Robin. Yeah. Like, we're talking like Batman was like, oh, Dick Grayson left quicker than I anticipated. Let's go get a kindergartner.
Yep.
So they'll be around a little longer.
The wee baby Robin.
Yeah, and so Tim Drake is Robin now, and he's patrolling, and he gets kidnapped by Joker and Harley, and they basically torture and brainwash him, to get Batman's secrets. And by the time Batman and Batgirl find him, like he's had chemical X, like he's
been using brand X.
There you go, brand X. That's what it was. He's cracked. All he does is laugh.
Got the permanent Joker smile.
Yeah, he's cracked. So we get a fight. Batgirl is going hand to hand with Harley, and the Joker is being chased by Batman. And it's a foot race. I guess I underestimated how fast the Joker is. He seems like in Forrest Gump when the truck is chasing Forrest, and then he turns the corner, and then suddenly he's like half a field away. Yeah. That's like the Joker being chased by Batman. Like, they'd cut scenes, and suddenly Batman's 2 blocks behind again. I didn't realize the Joker was Kenyan. Like, under all that makeup, you just didn't know. And so, Batman finally catches the Joker. Joker stabs Batman.
Yeah, he does.
Like, incapacitates him. And then there's Tim with a gun. And it's the old pull the trigger, a flag that says bang, It does that gag again that we've already seen. But, Tim Joker fully is expecting young Tim to pull the trigger on Batman and kill him. And there's Batman apparently had the secret word because he just looked at him and goes, Tim. And then, Tim shoots the Joker instead, kills him. So we don't know what happened to Harley. She just kind of disappeared.
She kind of fell down like a crevasse.
Yeah.
You don't see the body.
You don't see the body. And so, so Batman and Bruce and Barbara were there when the Joker was killed. And they just kind of swept it under the rug because their protege was the one that murdered him.
Yeah.
And crime fighters don't murder. They just, especially animated crime fighting,
Yeah.
they do enough physical violence to murder.
Yeah.
But if it's not in the script, then they don't die. But Joker died here. And so it took Tim a very long time to recover. And so basically Bruce forced him into retirement and let him go live his life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, he just went his separate ways. He got married, ran a Home Depot. It was good.
Making those keys at the Ace Hardware.
Right, the Ace Hardware. No, he went on to be like an engineer and
like
worked on
telecom or something like that.
Yeah, he worked on like future technology.
Yeah, future phones.
Right. And so they just split ties, and I'm hoping Batman still kind of took care of him. I don't see Bruce Wayne as providing much of an insurance.
Yeah, I don't think there's no term life when you're employed by Batman.
Like Bruce Wayne, the richest person in Gotham, is like, Tim went his separate ways and became an engineer and got married and have kids, and I'm like, and you didn't like send him a check every once in a while?
Yeah, no pension, no no Roth IRA.
No, exactly. Like there's no 529 for his kids.
529. That's tax-free savings for those saving for your kids for college.
Uncle Bruce will take care of you. But nope, it's like, no, I mean it. I severed ties with Tim. He's on his own.
I occasionally visit him at the True Value when he mixes my paint for me.
He doesn't know it's me because I'm wearing a cowl. It's like I gave him bus fare. What more do you want?
Who's this order of paint for? Bruce W.
Wayne Bruce. So Terry, now he knows the truth. So he kind of goes detective mode. He really hasn't been detective mode yet this movie. He's just been more fight the Jokers wherever they are.
Punch kick, yeah.
Yeah. And so he kind of goes detective Batman a little bit and decides, I'm going to trace down everybody who could possibly be the Joker. And he goes straight to Tim, who's working on future technology in like a hover crane, which is pretty cool. Tim doesn't want to talk about being Robin, denies being involved in the joke. He's like, yeah, I know, I saw the Joker's back. So then Terry switches his attention over to Jordan Price, the prior future of Wayne Enterprises, who's now been, he's the Rutger Hauer of this movie.
Yes, yeah, good analogy.
Didn't you get the memo?
It's okay, Bruce.
It's okay.
It's okay, Bruce. Stethoscope.
It's been the funniest we've laughed in a movie that's not funny ever.
I'm howling at the top of my lungs during Batman Beyond. or Batman Begins, that too.
Yeah, after Bruce falls down, falls down like a well, and you're just cackling. It's okay, Bruce.
Picks up the stethoscope. It's okay, Bruce. God, I'm crying now. Oh.
So Terry flies out to Jordan Price's yacht because Terry can fly wherever he wants.
Because that's what he does. He's got jet.
He's future tech. And he goes out there to kind of check him out. Well, he finds the Joker's gang is there with Price. So he's like, Eureka! Like, problem solved. It's got to be him. He finds out that Price had conspired with the Jokers to have Bruce killed. But then this gigantic, energy beam comes flying down on the yacht and destroys it, but not before Batman Beyond can save Price from the yacht, and then flies him back to safety to the shore police that are standing there.
Sure.
And turns him in, and of course they book him, Dano, all that stuff. Goes back to the Batcave and realizes magically that when the Joker showed up and destroyed the Batcave, he pretty much destroyed everything except the Robin costume. So then Terry's like, let me go talk to Tim again, because time's running out in this movie, and we got to cut to the chase.
It wasn't the red herring.
No, it was the red costume.
Yeah.
And so he realized that when he was talking to Tim, he's like, he seemed really against, his time as Robin. So maybe he's involved. So puts two and two together. Wait a minute. Giant energy beams. Telecommunication engineer. I bet he has something to do with it.
Telecom. That giant skybeam was the work of T-Mobile.
Right. Right. You're right. Oh man, that giant laser beam was brought to you by Straight Talk.
Unlimited wireless, unlimited text, and free skybeam.
Right, and unlimited data. And a free iPhone 12. So Terry and Bruce discover they do their thing where they've got their Iron Man-esque, like, here's the parts that they all were stealing. Let's use AI to make this into something. And they realize it's basically a jamming system to take control of the laser-armed military satellite.
Government space lasers. I'm pretty sure Marjorie Taylor Greene was involved in this somehow as well.
Probably. I'm sure she was. But it was just one of those, like, the pacing of the movie thus far has been fine. And then suddenly it's like, okay, we don't even have to think about the solution to our problem because we're Batman.
Yes.
Like, we can do this. So Terry goes to face Tim again, triggers a trap, and then we see, because he goes to this, like, abandoned candy factory again because of another satellite attack. He decides to take Ace with him this time, the bat dog.
The ace in the hole, some might say.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. That's actually why Tim went to work at an Ace Hardware, because he missed
he missed the dog. Working, making these key copies really reminds me of that Great Dane.
Lowe's would have paid me more, but so this is where we get our Malignant reference, as when Terry confronts the Joker, he basically he was Tim and turned himself into the Joker because he's got a device behind his ear that the Joker planted back when he was a wee child.
It made sure to tell Batman Beyond about it as well.
Yes, and he told him all about it. Like, Tim never noticed this thing behind his ear for 40 years.
He never got caught. Never got caught in the loofah in the shower.
Right, like when your wife was, like, kissing your ear before these two kids were born, you never, like, what's this, Timmy? Oh, don't worry about it. But don't touch it, because I may go all Joker on you.
Hey, Tim, honey, is that a tick bite on your neck?
No,
it's just a microchip that controls my implanted memories.
Yeah. It gives me a completely different looking jawline when I press it. So blah blah blah. Tim is the Joker. Joker is Tim. With the satellite, Joker was going to kill Bruce. Again, he's just expositioning here. I was going to kill Bruce and all of Terry's loved ones, destroy Gotham. Joker's got a toy buzzer on. At one point, he shocks the dog, and then Tim and Joker fight, and Tim somehow gets it on his hand and gets that buzzer right there, right in that shapeshifter,
right on the old neck chip.
Yep. I hate it when I shock them with that chip.
I think there was a guy on our floor at Western named Neck Chip.
Well, there was Black Sox.
Yeah. I think they roomed together, Black Sox and Neck Chip.
Yeah. Oh man, you learn to close your door around Black Sox. So, and so Terry saves the day.
Of course he does. He's Batman.
Yeah, saves the city. Frees Tim. The Joker's finally in the, like, Joker was dead, but it's basically the Joker put his persona into this microchip 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like, Joker had future tech then. So the Jokers all get arrested. Barbara covers up for Tim's involvement. Going to protect him because, again, Joker's been dead. We're just going to say he's dead in the factory explosion. DD twins get bailed out by Harley Quinn.
By Nana Harley.
By Nana Harley. Okay,
Yeah.
she's apparently reformed from 40 years ago. No, she's old. She's not
No.
reformed. She can't commit
No,
crime
she's a
anymore.
nana. She's somebody's nana.
So, so I mean, she had kids with someone then.
Mm-hmm.
Just obviously not Joker, which is good.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Bruce and Tim make up, and
That's that.
Terry continues to be Batman Beyond.
Yep.
So, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker.
At this point in the show, folks, Oz and I each give our own unique rating about the film in question. In this case, Batman Beyond: Return of Joker. Oz, how would you rate this flick?
I'm gonna give this one 2 Ds.
2 Ds?
Like a DD.
DDs? That was gonna be mine.
Oh.
It's fine. I'm gonna go with let's go 59 59 future tech songs.
Future tech.
Future songs.
Yeah, like Darude Sandstorm. Zombie Nation by Kraftwerk.
Oh. Next up, folks. That's going to be the next 20 minutes. It's me singing along to the songs that have no words.
Alice DJ's Better Off Alone.
Next up is Outside Insights. Moving along, because otherwise we'll just perseverate that for an hour.
I just want to see if you can keep singing them.
Oz and I have scoured the interwebs searching for unprofessional reviews that tickle our funny bones, and we hope they tickle yours as well. Oz, what is your Outside Insight?
I went a little different spin here
Okay.
because this was a futuristic movie.
Future.
I wanted to find a review on Letterboxd that was as close to the future as I could get.
Okay.
So that was also worthwhile. So this 5-star review was left July 27th of this year, just a month ago.
Okay.
By Troy.
Troy.
It says, "It speaks to me. I love this thing so much. I've always really loved Beyond's vibes and the cyberpunk setting, and I love the way the movie ties classic Batman with Terry's story and how it does the Bat-Joker relationship. The writing is killer, the animation is killer, the voice performances are killer, everything about it is killer. It's my second favorite thing out of the DCAU besides Justice League Unlimited. I watched it over and over as a kid while everyone else was into BTAS. This is mine right here. Also, the Black Canary cameo makes this an instant perfect movie." 5 stars. Thanks, Troy. Yeah.
Wow.
It speaks to me.
Killer.
This movie speaks to me.
Deep.
You have the volume up. It speaks to all of us,
Yeah.
Troy. One subtitle: Batman Beyond. It's all silent film.
with like the piano music alongside.
There's their calliope music in the background. Go to your local Nickelodeon and catch Batman Beyond. Will the dastardly Joker win again? What do you got for your outside insight?
Oh, my outside insight comes from the one and only Internet Movie Database. This is also a relatively recent review, left by Side Right.
Ooh.
I'm assuming this person is a big shoe fan.
Yeah.
With Right spelled R-I-T-E, left in December of 2020, so just a couple years old at the time of this recording. Another, despite the fact this is a 7 out of 10 review, another mediocre Batman Beyond film. I don't know why, but I hate all these futuristic Batman films so much. Batman barely made sense 60 years ago. He makes little sense now, and he definitely has no place in the future. Yet they keep revamping the same old punching and jumping fests with improbable devices and huge explosions. What's the point? The whole idea of placing a story in the future is to be able to explain parts of the story. But instead, they now have to make an extra effort to explain how the same stupid things even make sense in a sci-fi setting. And they take themselves so bloody seriously. 7 out of 10.
7 out of 10, yeah. Pretty darn good, though.
Yeah.
Hate it so much.
Can't
but
stand this. 7 out of 10.
my ex-wife was a 10, so Overall, I feel bad with a bad rating.
I just wanted to manipulate the score.
There you go.
All right, folks, it's that point in the show you've all been waiting for, our signature segment, the 3-2-1, in which Oz and I each share 3 goods, 2 bads, and 1 about the film in question. In this case, what year was this? 2000s.
2000. The future.
The future. Batman Beyond: Return of Joker. Oz, what are your 3 goods?
My first one was the out-of-nowhere Christopher Walken speech pattern out of Michael Rosenbaum's Ghoul. I read in the trivia that I guess Michael Rosenbaum would, just speak like Christopher Walken on set quite a bit.
Why not?
Not that there was a set to this, but, just to horse around. And I guess, the director's like, hey, why don't you do Ghoul's voice as that? And so he did. I wasn't expecting it, and then when he started talking at the beginning of the movie, I'm like, "Oh, he sounds like Christopher Walken."
What's that Christopher Walken bit that he does on SNL?
Oh, which
Where
one?
where he's talking to the camera.
Oh, I don't remember.
But you know what you know what I mean, right?
Yeah,
He should have been in that Christopher Walken character.
he should have been. Yeah, that would have been okay too. So, but yeah, so that's my first one is Ghoul's Christopher Walken speech pattern.
The Continental, that's what it's called. It just hit me.
Oh yeah,
The
there you go. Yeah, that was fun. That was
Champagne from España.
Oh man, my second good is the flashback scene.
Yep, of course.
It's just because it's the Batman that, I feel it's the closest to the original Bob Kane Batman.
Mm-hmm.
It's Batman and Batgirl and Robin and Joker, and before they're like, let's go to the future. And then 3, it's just Conway and Hamill. They're always great.
Yeah.
Tim Conway and
Tim Conway, Dorf on Batman.
Right. And Tim Conway and Dorothy Hamill just did great in their voice acting here. Kevin Conway and Mark Hamill, just they're speech-wise, they are the voices of those characters. Sorry, Cesar Romero.
If I want to mess with my daughter, because my daughter, again, is a big Legend of Zelda fan, and there's, Ganon, who is basically derived from Ganondorf, the man. And so sometimes I'll mess with my daughter and call him Ganondorf on golf.
And she loves any comedy where a grown man acts on his knees.
Yes, yeah, she can't get enough. Also a huge fan of golf-based comedy.
Yeah. Loves Caddyshack 2.
She can't. Huge Caddyshack 2 fan at the age of 8.
Right. You haven't let her watch the original Caddyshack because there's nudity.
Yes. Caddyshack 2 and Tin Cup are the only movies that we watch in our home.
Not Happy Gilmore.
No, we don't allow Happy Gilmore.
No.
She's a big Rene Russo fan.
Loves Rene Russo. Golf-based comedies, Rene Russo, that's a pretty advanced for a 3rd grader.
Hey, what can I say? She's my daughter.
Right. That's true. That's true. All right, what do you got there, Korok Daddy?
my 3 goods. Let's see. Let's go with. I'm just gonna celebrate all. First one, I'm gonna celebrate all of the name actors in irrelevant roles in this
movie. Good for you. You got paid.
Yeah. Good job. Good for you, Rachel Lee Cook. Good for you, Henry Rollins. Good for you, Michael Rosenbaum. Whatever. Why?
Don't forget Melissa Joan Hart.
Yes, good for you, Melissa Joan Hart as the Dee Dees. I don't know why they cast them, but it's just funny that they were cast. And so that's my first good. My second good is the scene where Terry comes across the Joker-fied old Bruce in the Batcave, and old Bruce has the Joker smile and the laughter, and he's trying to communicate with Terry while smiling and laughing. A very creepy scene done great by Kevin Conroy. And my last, I'm just going to say Nana Harley. I just Nana Harley's
my extremely deep blue eyes.
Yes, Nana Harley and the Dee Dees at the end.
Those eyes were like Meg Foster blue.
Yeah, she bails him out and pulls him out by the ears.
It was a fun little scene. Nana Harley.
Yeah. So that's my third good. Why not? Hey, Oz, what are your 2 bads?
My first one is utilizing an abandoned candy factory as a hideout, like with giant Tim Burton-esque Joker faces on it. Like, come on, it just was obvious. And my second was, just there was no physical danger for any character in this movie, despite the extreme violence.
Yeah,
like, not. I mean, it was like almost like Home Alone-esque. Like, this is supposed to be like crime fighting and whatnot, but these people are getting like punched and thrown and kicked and exploded, and it's like and then they just get up and run off.
yeah.
Because
how many times did Wolf get just the tar beat out of him?
Yeah, and then he's just like scampers off,
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll lick my wound. It's like, no, like they all would be dead.
Yeah.
But it's a cartoon.
And the
so.
fight scenes in this movie, like, they're too long, too.
Yeah, they really were.
They just kept going.
And they didn't, like, add any, like, there wasn't any, like, cool animation that they did. It was just more kicking and punching.
Yeah.
So, but those are my two bads. What do you got?
My first bad is the future music. Like when they're in the club.
You didn't like this Korn soundtrack?
Future techno. It's like third-rate Nine Inch Nails.
Oh yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's this like industrial techno dance sound.
Yeah, it's like Kids Bop. For 9 Inch.
It's like there was a band from the late '90s called Gravity Kills that like this just reminded me of, and it's this like industrial dance music.
It's just it's just noise.
Yeah, and it just like dance guitar, and like it just didn't work. Like, I hope that's not what like the future holds for as far as dance music.
It reminded me of, like, it had some like White Zombie vibes.
Yeah.
Just like you said, industrial, just grungy but aggressive with a fast tempo and beat. Like, but yeah, I'm with you.
It's like LaBouche meets Limp Bizkit.
Exactly. Exactly.
Be my lover, wanna be.
I like LaBouche, but I'm with you, 100%.
Oh, I didn't think I'd sneak in a LaBouche reference here.
It's been a while since we've had a LaBouche.
Yeah, it's been at least 3 episodes since our last LaBouche
95.
reference. Yeah,
maybe it's been 95 episodes.
Yeah.
96. So.
Let's see that. So yeah, future music is bad. Is my first bad. My second bad is, despite the fact that we're in the future, and as like America and the world continues to diversify, literally and figuratively, there's not a lot of racial or ethnic diversity in the future.
No, I think because all of the quote-unquote minorities of the past, which is the present, I think they've all elevated themselves to where all that's left as the scum of Gotham are white people.
That's... I don't disagree there.
Like, deservedly so. Like,
Terry goes to the scummiest techno dance clubs.
right. They're all white.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is trying to crawl back into the head of a company that's run by just some scummy white guy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's very futuristic and a world I would like to see.
Scummy white guys, with racial and ethnic minorities elevated.
Yeah, the oppressed are like, we've had enough.
Yeah, we know how to do things. We're going to do it right.
Take your city.
Yeah. Hell, Oz, I'll join you on the scummy dance floor.
Yeah. I can move. Like Dana.
Oh, all right. Hey, Oz, what's your one?
How many people do you think died during the sky laser attack?
Oh, a whole lot. As he's flying away from it.
Yeah, like this whole movie felt odd because despite us watching a superhero movie, there was like no saving.
No.
Granted, we also didn't see any casualties, but let's not kid ourselves. This giant sky laser, like, decimated the town.
Yeah, it was cutting through skyscrapers.
Yeah, cutting through skyscrapers, cutting through bridges, it was like hot knife through butter through Gotham. You know people were dying, unless, of course, Gotham is vacated and just left to scummy white people.
They're all at the dance club.
they're all
there. They're all there. All the scummy people are at the scummy dance club.
That's right. Kyle Reese was there, and
Reese in his Nikes.
They all were there.
They're all there.
So yeah, that was my As I'm watching that, as I'm watching the sky laser chase Batman Beyond through Gotham, I'm like, how many people are dying in the wake of this laser?
But they figured out who Joker was. Yeah.
And yeah, Batman's just not trying to stop it, but just trying
No.
to escape it.
It took the most populated routes as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'll lose him down Orphan Way.
Never gonna catch me at this sold out baseball game. Blend right in. No, I don't think Joker cared who was dying at this point.
No.
But and at the end, all Commissioner Gordon was like, "Don't worry, we'll protect Tim. The Joker died in the rubble." I'm like, "What about the millions of other people that died?"
Yeah, the city is in
Get your hands full.
ruins. No, but oh wait, we're gonna protect Tim.
Oh man, it's good old boy here.
Who else is gonna make us an extra key for our garage?
Right. It's like, well, we don't really need keys because every building has been blown open.
Yeah, that's true. He's the only one that knows how to run the machine. We lost the training manual in the Sky Laser.
Once we rebuild, we're going to need doors, and once we have doors, we're going to need locks, and that's where Tim
He's
comes
the only guy who knows how to do it at the Yanks.
Right. Oh man, so that's my huh.
Okay, that's a good huh.
What's your huh?
My huh is in the future. I think it was Terry tried calling Bruce Wayne at some point on the phone. Bruce Wayne has an answering machine.
Yeah,
And
in the future. Yeah,
he's got an answering machine.
Well, yeah. Like Star Trek could like extrapolate like this is what we think the future would look like. But apparently the directors of this Warner Home Entertainment video didn't like Kurt Gaeta didn't quite have the creativity to be like, no. We're still gonna be using answering machines.
It's the technology of the present and the future.
But just imagine how many messages future answering machines can store.
I also loved it when Terry called Bruce and the answering machine picked up with Bruce's voice. He said, "Hello? Uh-huh. Gotcha! This is just an answering machine."
Please rename a message after the tone.
And Terry slammed his phone down in frustration. Right. "Oh, Bruce, you got me again."
Gets me every time.
and
then we cut to Bruce, who's sitting at the answering machine just cackling because he got him again. He just screens his calls just to get people to fall for his answering machine.
And then Bruce turns his Jerky Boy CD back on.
Next week on Crank Yankers.
The whole reason he brought on Terry was just to play elaborate hoaxes at some kid's expense.
Right. That's it. Bruce is just old now. It's like... It's what he does.
I don't have any kids to push around.
I've been beat up so many times I can't have them. So.
All right, well, hey, Oz, that's Batman Beyond: The Return of Joker. This was a fun episode.
It was. Yeah. It was a fun episode. It was a dark movie.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. It was not a cartoon. It was an animated film.
An animated film.
So, we got a new theme next month.
We do have a new theme.
Septiembre. What do we got for a theme? It's your movie next week.
Sure. Well, I'll start with the month. We are kicking off oxymoronic titles. Kudos to you for coming up with that theme.
This was an early addition to our themes.
Yeah, we've been sitting on this one for a while.
Yeah.
So
I like this theme.
Again, we've got a variety of genres that we're going to hit here.
Yep.
Including the end of the month will be episode 100. Oz, we're on the road to episode 100,
hitting those triple digits.
However, kicking off oxymoronic titles in
and a reference to this movie.
Yes, is 1985's Bob Zemeckis. Zemeckis. They both were there. Helmed Back to the Future.
Yeah. That Huey Lewis in the News music video.
Basically, yeah. Featuring a cameo from Huey Lewis himself.
Yes.
So yes, we will go back to the future.
This is a safe one to watch with the kiddos. When is the last time you've seen this movie prior to watching it for the recording?
Oh, several years. It's been several years, yeah.
It plays on AMC a lot. And it usually plays all three of them. It kind of comes and goes, but it's whenever it hits, it's usually on because it's one that we know the kids can watch and not have to worry about what's happening. So, seen Back to the Future quite often in somewhat recent times.
Mhm.
But watching it with some fresh eyes,
Yeah.
it'll be nice. But we got a fun month.
Yeah, we do.
Have you ever seen my first contribution?
I have not. I have not.
Is it a first time viewing for
It'll be
you?
the first time viewing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I pick, honestly, and we're not going to get to the reveal of that, but the second movie of the month is the sole purpose for the oxymoronic title theme. In an effort to, it's one of my wife's favorite movies, and in an effort to try to figure out how to get it on the show outside of Wives' Choice Month, I was like, you know what? That title's kind of an oxymoron.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
Well, it's usually how we come up with our themes. Is we have a movie that we really want to talk about, and then we build the theme around that movie.
Yeah. Eventually, we'll get Action Jackson on.
Uh-huh. I mean, wrestlers and movies from a couple months ago, that really kind of started with No Holds Barred, did it not?
Yeah, just to get No Holds Barred on. Yeah. And there's still a lot. Like, we've talked before. We've got, like, I mean, let's see, 44 to 85. I mean, we've got, like, 41 themes that are not yet, and we've got 2024 already mapped out. This podcast is never ending.
No, it will be going on in the indefinite future. Perhaps we'll even catch up to the Batman Beyond timeline,
Possibly.
where we'll see such future technology as answering machines.
Yeah, and Dippin' Dots. But yeah, we are, like, we've got enough, like, for almost another 4 years of themes after 2024.
Yeah.
So, and we just, new ones keep coming all the time. And they're all fun.
Yeah.
They're all fun. So, but yeah, next week, Back to the Future, it'll kick off Oxymoronic Title Month. We got a big celebration coming at the end of September. We hit up 100. I don't know what we're going to do, but I may have to break out the old tuxedo t-shirt.
Ooh, we're getting fancy.
May have to. And, but otherwise, social media, you know where we're at. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There is a link to Patreon down below. We would like to have 100 patrons by our 100th episode. So
get going.
Yeah.
We got some ground to make up.
If you've been on the fence, now's the time. So that would be a great way to celebrate, is hitting, adding 97 patrons.
We can get there, Oz. The power of positive feedback.
That's true, and positive thinking.
Yes.
Like, if my mental reality is more important than actual reality.
You can imagine it. It can happen.
Yep, it's true.
What's the line from back? If you... the line that Marty tells George, that George brings up at the end. If you put your mind to it, you can accomplich anything, or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Biff. Biff.
Yes, Miss McFly. Don't con me, Biff.
Right? I love Crispin Glover. Let's not kid ourselves. This really is a great movie.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of people chalk it up to, like, their favorite time travel movie. I'm not going to say it's my favorite time travel movie.
Bogus Journey.
Mine's probably a Spanish movie called Time Crimes. That movie is excellent.
I don't think I've seen that.
I will stand on that. It is the smartest, most effective time travel movie I've ever seen. And it's like short bursts of time. Like, I'm going to go back 10 minutes. It's so good. Like, I just stumbled across it and watched it, and just mind was blown. Highly, highly recommend Time Crimes.
Piqued my interest.
No, it is. It's excellent. I watched that, and I remember saying, I think to my wife, we didn't watch it together because it's got subtitles. She doesn't know how to read.
Is it as good as that Dennis Rodman movie where he plays like twins?
Better, barely, but better.
Okay.
What was that one like?
Was it Double Team or something?
Yeah, Double Team. I was gonna say, like, Penalty Box, or is some stupid sports reference.
Penalty Shot.
Right, start featuring Dennis Rodman. Bunt single featuring Dennis Rodman and Corbin Burnson.
Hole in One starring Dennis Rodman.
Albatross. Oh man. But yeah, Back to the Future. It's fun. I'm excited
Yeah.
for this.
Yeah, we'll have
It'll
a
be
good
a
time.
real fun month. Capping off with a doozy.
A doozy
So,
for episode 100.
for sure. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up another episode of Let's Talk About Flips. We hope you flips. Let's talk about them.
Let's talk about flips. Back flips, front flips, side flips.
Flip Wilson, Flip Saunders. Let's talk about them all.
Flip Saunders. Those flips pretzels. Those are good.
Let's talk about them. For another episode of Let's Talk About Flicks. I'm
I'm
Oz.
Flip Wilson.
We'll see you guys next week.